Okay, we're going to talk about VDO Ninja as a solution for the collaborative feature. This is completely code-free, hands-off. It's a turnkey solution that already exists, and it's 100% free. So there's a couple different ways you can use this. I'll show the method using rooms. So this is similar to a video conferencing feature. So you can say you just go in and create a room, give it a name, and so that creates a room called DWA Room Demo in this particular case. Then a client, another user, simply visit VDOninja.com, and you can join a room by name. So I'm going to type in that room name, and we should get a prompt, no password, okay, and say join the room with your camera, and I'm going to select my default camera, and I'm going to opt for maximum video resolution, and you say start. And okay, so that's running. And I'm getting a little bit of echo, so I'm going to turn off the extra mic here. And go back to the control room. And you can see in the control room you've got a view of any of the users who have joined. And then what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over to my other computer, so you won't be able to see this. It's off screen. But I'm going to join that same room. So I'm going to VDO Ninja on the second computer. I'm going to say I'm going to join a room, same as I did, so you can hear me typing. So go, it's going to prompt me again for a password. I'm going to say I don't care about that. Join the room with my camera. And okay, so I've got this little holocam here. It's kind of a funny angle, but we'll go with that. And I'm going to say start. And then you see that user appears in the room. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off that camera, the microphone on the second computer as well, because I'm getting echo. Okay, so then at this point, what you do is you use the browser plugin in OBS to get essentially, this view, this collaborative view in OBS. So what you do when you want to share the scene in OBS for broadcast is you simply come here, copy that link, and then plug that into a browser source in OBS. So once you've got the URL captured for the room, and it's all set up, you simply come back to OBS, create a browser source, plug in that URL here, and at that point you should be rolling. I'll turn off this window capture so that you can see. And there we are. So we've got one client camera, which was the second browser tab, which is the camera I'm talking into right now. And then we've got the guest on my other machine over here. Hello. Showing up in the top window. And there's a little bit more lag on this thing than you'd normally have, I think, because there's a lot going on in this machine. I've got this ultra, window capture software and all that kind of stuff running. So, but that's one way to work with it. So you can create rooms or a room in OBS, and people simply join that room, and you get the like the Zoom conference effect, which you can then broadcast out of OBS. So I'll demonstrate another way, which allows each individual user to simply capture their camera in OBS Ninja, and then their URLs can be plugged in individually into different browsers in OBS, and that gives you a little more flexibility. So I'll demo that next. Now I'll demo a different approach in which each user simply adds their camera to OBS. That URL gets provided to whoever is hosting, and those get set up as browser scenes in OBS. So to do that, it's really straightforward. Once again, you simply add your camera. I'll grab my integrated camera on this machine. So there I am. I'm going to, once again, opt for maximum resolution. And we'll start that running. So there I am. So now I would, on another machine, which obviously we're not going to be able to see because I'm not capturing that desktop at the same time, but we'll visit the VDO Ninja. And I'm going to add that camera. Do the same thing on this machine. I'm going to opt for maximum resolution. I'll say start. So that person's running. Now, then we're going to bop over to OBS. Okay, so before I do that, I forgot to mention, in each case, on each machine, you simply go to the URL that's displayed at the top, copy that to the clipboard, and that gets plugged into the browser's sources in OBS. Back in OBS, you simply create a couple of browser sources, or as many as you're going to need. Plug in the URLs for the participants. See how that works. And we should be, yeah, we should be seeing something there. It's a little off kilter in the display here. I'm not exactly sure why that is. It has to do with the monitoring, virtual monitoring software I've got. But you can see, you know, the primary participant is showing up here. Make an adjustment there. It would really be something more like this, but you can see you've got a fair amount of flexibility. And then you can bring in the other participants' URLs, copy their URL in here as well. Okay, so that guy's showing up. And you can see it gives you a fair amount of flexibility. In terms of how you want to move things around. So I'm going to turn off the window capture software that I'm using to capture the OBS window for a time being, so you can get a better idea. You can play with these and move them around a little bit. Yeah, so you can see the flexibility this gives you, which I really like. I actually prefer this to the rooms method. The other thing that is pertinent here is that each one of these windows can be an OBS virtual camera in and of itself. So if somebody has an elaborate setup in OBS, they've got a stage and they've got overlays, lower thirds, and all that stuff, that'll show up in their window in the collaboration. So that's it, and I'll stop recording for now.